What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another daily range case study. And today I'm going to be doing it on NAS100, and I actually have an announcement. I have made the executive decision, me and my team, so me, myself, and I've made the decision to start only mainly looking at NAS100 just based off of the way it's been moving lately in comparison to the US 30. US 30 has been very, very, very unpredictable, very choppy, if you want to say. Just very choppy, in my opinion. So that's why, personally, I'm not really going to be looking to trade that as much coming in. If I see the opportunity, I'll think about it. But my main focus right now is going to stay on NAS100, and they do trade the same way. So trade style, all of that is going to remain the same. Nothing's changing, just the actual pair. And keep in mind, they're both indexes, so they both literally trade the very, 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 very similarly. So, on that note, let's get right on into this breakdown. I'm not sure why it's just the average. I guess the average is the midpoint. Okay, interesting. But let's get right on into it. So the first thing is first, I'm going to mark up the previous day's highs and the previous day's low. As you can see, the previous day's low is the one that got ran through. Why did it get ran through? Because yesterday was a bearish day, and today just followed that overall bearish continuation trend. So what do we know? We had a bearish down close day yesterday, and then today we had another down close day. And just keeping it simple, price was more than likely going to be bearish today just due to the fact that it was also bearish yesterday. Same thing on bullish days, just keeping it simple. So I already knew more than likely price wanted to come lower on this pair. So the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark up the Asian session range. So from 18 o'clock to midnight, we have the Asian session range just like this. Let me get this. Right in there, we have the Asian session range. Just like that. Now that we have that drawn, we're going to get the 12 a.m. open, which is right here. So the first thing I need you guys to bring your eyes to is this area right up here. Why is this important? Because this is currently the high of the day. And also I want you to pay attention to right down here, because this is the low of the day. So we have the high of the day, the low of the day. Now pay attention to where these highs and lows were made. So right here, price is, we have 14,900, which is a big figure level. So I'm going to keep that right there. We have 14,500 down here, which is another big figure level. Then we have in between here, we have 14,800, which is another big figure level. And pay attention and just look at how price is reacting at all of these levels. So here, first things first, I want you guys to pay attention how we got this high of the day during 3 in the morning. What does that mean? High of the day during London session after doing what? Clearing this Asian session high right here. So it was very minuscule. If you zoom in all the way, you get it right there. You can see how price cleared it by literally a pip, but it doesn't matter if it's by a pip or 2 pips. It just matters that it cleared it, and then it overall had this movement right after. So what does that tell us? We had this high of the day at 3 a.m. Plus, we tapped into 14,900. It didn't tap into it on this specific broker, on this liquidity feed, but I'm going to show you something in a second. So we have the high of the day at 14,900 plus cleared Asian range high. So we cleared liquidity at a specific time, and we tapped into a big figure level. So let me show you what I was going to show you. Let's go down to NAS100 right over here. You look at over here, actually this is at 14,800. So if you look at the differences between these two, 14,900, 14,800. So it's a little bit different, but it just matters the broker that you're on, the liquidity feed. It all makes a difference at the end of the day. And as you can see here, it tapped into 14,800. So we're just going to keep in mind that it is not 14,900, but technically it did tap into one, but we're just going to say 14,900 just because, for the sake of, this is where it overall did. And the last thing, it also tapped into a 15-minute bullish order block. And now you're going to maybe be asking, where is that order block? You just got to look left. The last up candle before this down move that cleared these lows right here. So this is going to be a valid 15-minute order block. And as you can see, price had that reaction right over here. And that's also going to bring us to where we had this reaction again right over here. What did this happen? After we had this move higher, after clearing the previous day's low, after we tapped into this order block at 3 in the morning, created the high of the day, price started to show a willingness to come lower, came lower, came lower, and then did what? We cleared this Asian session low. Cleared this Asian session low. So I'm going to draw that and annotate this. So what happened? The Asian range low cleared, plus previous day's low was cleared, plus this is where price had that movement to the top side at 930. 930 push, plus we had that 930 push. So that is what we have right here. We're just going to be annotating everything. Even if it may not seem important, everything has an important meaning for something. So right here, this is where we ended up clearing this Asian range low, right to our left, cleared the previous day's low, had its retracement into where price retraced back above the 12 a.m. open. So price retraced back above the 12 a.m. open. So 12 a.m. open, right above. And what do we know when we're above the 12 a.m. open? Ideally, we're going to be looking for shorts when we're above the 12 a.m. open and we're bearish. So here, 12. So we're above the 12 a.m. open. Plus, we tapped into that 15-minute order block one last time. And now we're going to take it a step further. We're going to pull our fib from that high made during London session all the way to this low. So if you might be confused where I drew it from, so I drew it from this high. That was the high of the day during London session that was made. And I drew it all the way down to this low, right when price started to retrace at 930. So we got this push, tapped into right above the 12 a.m. open, tapped into the 15-minute order block. Right here, tapped into the 15-minute order block. And then we also had that fib short. Plus we had the fib short. And then also, the last confirmation, you're going to look left again. We're going to go to this Asian session range, and we're going to get the 50% of it. And we're going to see if that also lines up with it. And as you can see, if you mark this 50%, move it all the way over, you also would have that also. So we're going to put that down also. So the last thing is we have the Asian range 50% rejection. So if you never know what I mean by AR is just Asian range. I always just put AR to abbreviate it just so it's short, so I don't clutter my screen too much. So now, after we had this move, price melted. This is the main move we had, and this was at 10:30. So after 10:15 news, we had this. But pay attention right here. We also cleared this high right before we fell. So cleared this high, cleared the liquidity, tapped into the 50-minute order block, and then also did what? Tapped into the London session order block also. So this high that was made during the London session that made the high of the day also left behind a order block right in here. So I'm going to make this actually just a different color just so you can see it. So we tapped in this 15-minute bearish order block also. And then from here, we had that reaction and fall to the downside. Doing what? Ended up targeting 14,500. So we have the low of the day after targeting 14,500, just like that. And then from here, price overall just had that retracement all the way back above the 12 a.m. open, came back to 14,800, and from here, price is slowly just moving lower. So this is a good example of just a clean London continuation bearish, a bearish London continuation, and this is a good sign. I'm just trying to make everything nice and clean for you so you can read all the annotations. And now we're just going to draw up our schematic. So what happened? We had the Asian session range. London session came up, made the high of the day, came back down, cleared the lows, had that retracement, and then kept on going lower. So this might look a little bit wonky, so I'm going to make it just a little bit better. So just like this, just like this. This is why. This is non. That's why it was fucking me up. So we had the Asian session range. Price came up, made the high of the day, came down. I'm going to just put it like this. Came up, made the high of the day, came down, had a retracement, and then from here, price overall moved lower once again. And this is a clean example of a bearish London continuation move. So this is something that you are going to want to replicate and something that you can look for on a daily basis. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this screenshot and I'm going to put this in my journal, and I'm also going to send it in the Telegram chat. So if you want this screenshot, make sure you can take it right here in the video, or you can go to the Telegram chat that's going to be in the description for free and you can get it there. So on that note, this was a pretty simple day, but nonetheless, nice day. It's always good to just look back and understand what overall happened. And in the time, I didn't think price was going to remain bearish. When price was here, let's go back. When price was here, I honestly thought that it was going to be some sort of form of having a overall push to the top side, clearing all the liquidity. But as you can see, that's not what happened. It ended up being a bearish line continuation. So you learn from all these things, and that's really it. So if you enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful in any way, shape, or form, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning for NFP. So we're gonna see what's up. I'm not gonna be looking to take any serious trades. I'm gonna be lowering risk on everything tomorrow just because it's NFP. NFP week has been pretty trash for me as is. So we're just gonna take it one step at a time. So without further ado, I'll see you guys in the morning, and you guys make sure you stay motivated by the fear of being average, and everyone stay safe.